ਹੈਲੋ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਟੀਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਰਸ਼ਦੀਪ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਟੁਡੇ ਵੀ ਗੋਣਾ ਹੈਵ ਅ ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿਦ ਅ ਪਰਸਨ ਐਂਡ she is one of the oldest notary public in the town. So I'm talking about Miss Shahnaz Rahimtula. ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਾਮ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੋਊਗਾ She is also a member of Study Board Trades, a member of Rotary, Fraser View and many more. And as well as she is a star player. ਤੁਸੀਂ imagine ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ notary public and she is really good star player and ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ hobby ਹੈ but hobby ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ profession choose ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ but she is really good notary public. Let's talk to her about her experiences, her business and many more. Let's welcome Shahnaz. Welcome Shahnaz ji.
Thank you, Arsh.
How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm really flattered. Thank you so much.
So, how are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing wonderful.
Very nice. So, due to this pandemic, due to this overall situation, people are in stress. How you keep yourself that bubbly?
I guess it's just mind over everything, you know? And just be positive.
Oh,
I actually went through last week, I went through a week of just staying positive, no matter what happened.
Oh.
And it worked really beautiful because sometimes I just let myself down, just like everybody else. I'm a human being, right? But when you feel positive, then you always have a smile on your face. And then you don't keep your guards up, you know, and you're always thinking, well, how can I feel better?
I know.
And then it follows. It's like a domino effect, you know. The way the mind, it's a mind game, really.
That's true. Because you just remind me that we met years before and you have that smiley face as well. You were that
so
bubbly
sweet.
and today you are the same.
Thank you.
I don't think we met 5 or 4 years back. I thought we met maybe 4 days back. So,
kind.
If we are talking about notary public, should you choose a notary first of all?
People like to phone around and, you know, check prices. That's the most important occupation of most buyers, right? They want to know who's going to be the cheapest. And I would suggest that's a very good question, actually. When you phone a notary, the first thing that you want to know is what it entails, because, you know, you obviously are either a first-time home buyer or you don't know what it entails. So you have to feel comfortable enough to ask the questions. Some people feel, oh, they're going to think I'm ignorant, you know. Feel comfortable and open-heartedly ask a question and make sure it answers you or that it fulfills all your criteria. And so when you choose a notary, not just ask what your price is. The price comes later. First ask, okay, what can you do for us? Services, what can you do for us? What does that entail? I mean, how is this process going to be? Because our job as a notary, and I speak on behalf of all the notaries, Fraser Valley, that we want to make their job simple. And you want to help them out in the best possible way. Not just efficiently cut their costs, but also do it in a way that we're not doing shortcuts, right?
Yes.
So, and we want to make sure it's, you know, we let them know exactly what the costs are, what it involves, and how less stressful it can be.
Yes.
So what I tell my clients when they call me, okay, I know you're stressed about this process. Just leave the stress to me. I will make it easy for you, not just through my experience, but also just through my personality, because that's the kind of person I am.
Yes.
I take on the file as though it's my own, right? And then the costs involved would be basically the property transfer tax, the property tax adjustments. Depends what you're buying, first of all. It's a strata, it's a house, it's a commercial property. So costs depend on that. But the basic costs are the tax adjustments, property transfer tax. That's a major one.
That is
Although
true.
for a first-time home buyer, there is no property transfer
because sometimes
tax.
when you buy a home for the first time, you don't know how it goes,
Exactly.
how the process going,
Yeah,
right?
some people even forget to open up a hydro account and a Fortis account. I even guide them through that. I say, okay, here's the number, do that. And the other thing is the fire insurance. Insurance is so important. They say, well, we'll do that later, okay. Well, we're not even going to get the funds from the bank. No lender is going to give you money without that.
That's true.
Most lenders now are also requiring something called title insurance, which protects them against the defects. I don't see much opportunity for that to be used in British Columbia. It's more for United States properties, but still, you know, most banks require that. So that's another cost that they have to add on.
That is true.
So you can't just say what is going to be the cost, because it could be different for every file, for every situation. There could be conditions on a mortgage that we have to do. So that could be different too.
Oh,
right?
So there are many criteria you have to tackle.
Yeah, so it's not just a basic thing, oh, well, it's $800 or $900 or $1,000. So you cannot compare apples and oranges. Let's
That
put
is
it this
true.
way. You know?
That is true. And when you are talking about your clients, what type of clients come to you?
We have various kinds of people that need a notary, right? We have simple clients that need something attested. It could be an affidavit. It could be a power of attorney. It could be a very serious, like a contract. Or if they're buying a property, they may not have a realtor. They might just need help. Or they're taking a mortgage, doing a refinance. And the refinance might be a very stressful thing, because they're not buying a property, but yet they have to think about what they owe the bank, the existing bank. There could be a penalty, especially now. Clients are paying a huge amount of penalty just because the interest rates are so low. So there are various things clients need. So we can offer, I would say, any non-contentious legal service. So the two things that we cannot do is litigation and family law. And I would also add corporate stuff. We can do declarations, but we cannot prepare corporate documents.
Yes.
Or share certificates.
As you mentioned, first-time home buyers, before somebody buying home, there are costs involved as well?
Before they buy home?
They're purchasing any property or buying any home. Is there any cost involved in that?
For a first-time home buyer,
Yes.
are there special costs? No.
Yeah.
No. There are no special costs of first-time home buyers.
So
Everybody has the same cost.
Or
the only thing that they save is the property transfer tax if the property is under a certain amount, and there's a calculation for that.
And is there any types of cost as well? So
additional cost for first-time home buyers?
Yes.
It depends on the mortgage approval or mortgage condition. Some first-time home buyers are just scraping in order to get that property. So there could be some additional costs for them, such as they may have accumulated debts through university loans or something like that. It all depends. But for a first-time home buyer, I think the most important thing is they just need some kind of a, open-hearted conversation to really find out what's happening. So what I do is, if I cannot explain to them over the phone, they normally just come in with an appointment, and I can give them, 10 to 15 minutes consultation to guide them through the process.
And why should somebody coming to the notary, they can come to go to another services as well? So why the notary is that important?
Because we specialize in it.
Okay.
Right? Like you can be a lawyer, but you may have specialization in different various fields. Notaries actually specialize in real estate, because that's the only thing we can do, right? Other than the affidavits and the powers of attorney and the representation agreements or
because
declarations
nowadays
or
people are like,
attestations.
okay, we have a lawyer, he can settle everything, we don't need a notary. Is that possible?
No, they can go to a lawyer, they can go to a notary. Lawyers are equally fantastic. As I said, we all come back to where you feel comfortable. Who do you trust? I think it's all a matter of who you trust. You can trust a lawyer just like you trust a notary. We're all professionals. So I have respect for all of the professionals.
That is true. That's so
They've
sweet.
all worked hard to do this, right?
That is sweet. So, Shahnaz ji, जैसे हमने बात की कि you guys are specialized. So there are many situations that notary can help to the people. So sometimes people don't know what notary does. There are many things that notary does that people don't know. So you want to tell people that notary does that things as well?
Yeah. Sometimes people don't realize that a notary can actually help you through, for example, if you're inviting somebody. Now with COVID, you need to do a special declaration. Any attestation, because we're also commissioners of oath. So if they need to swear an oath, we can do that as well. Or if they are, filing for a divorce, we cannot do the divorce documents.
Oh.
Right? We cannot do separation agreements either, or we cannot notarize them. But we can notarize just an affidavit for them. But not a separation agreement.
Okay.
That's something that's out of our jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yes.
So there are many things that is in your jurisdiction, or some of them that are not, you are not going to
These
do.
4 things are out of our jurisdiction. Separation agreements.
Rest of them, everything is under your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really nice.
Yes.
So coming to you, Shahnaz ji, if I'll talk to you, being a lady, you are a notary public and you are doing these things for over 30 years. So how the community responds, how you get support from the community?
I have actually been very blessed. I've had a really wonderful support from our community, and I'm very grateful for that, really grateful. I remember when I first started off, My husband was not in favor of it.
Oh,
So he
really?
was in India.
Okay.
So I went and I remember the realty company, they really helped me out. And I have a lot of respect for all those realty companies because they said, okay, you're just starting out, and I had nothing. And the bank had not approved me a loan. So I had nothing to start with.
Oh.
So I went to the realty company and I said, look, I want to start my practice, but I don't even have money to pay you rent.
Oh.
So they said, we see so much enthusiasm in you, we see so much energy in you, we will give you 3 months rent free. So would you like to start? And they were like really wanting a notary in their office.
Oh, nice.
This was in Vancouver, and that's how I started my office.
Arre wow.
So they gave me a 3 months break in my rent, and I started off. And then I phoned my husband in India and I said, I've started a practice. He says, why are you doing that? You don't need to. I think that is a mentality of most of our Asian men. We don't want our women to work. Why should they do that? You know, that to opening up a business. Because if anybody has ever opened a business, it's just an extremely, not just a challenging.
And there are many responsibility being a
Yeah,
woman. You have many responsibilities.
and my children were young
yeah.
at that time, and he was traveling a lot, so I was by myself. He says, that's just a big undertaking. Why are you embarking on it? Don't do it. I said, look, I'm going to do whatever I'm comfortable with. But the strength or weakness of me is, and that's a trait of me, is that when I take on something, I don't quit. And I've got that enthusiastic desire to, to see that going.
And who was the person who supports you during your days, like 30 years back?
I had a very, very good friend, and then I had very good friends, and and just I think I'm also very religious. Like I really believe in God. I shouldn't say I'm religious, but I believe in God. I believe in the universe. I believe in karma. I believe in
Destiny.
Destiny,
will
of course,
take you.
everything is destined. But somehow I had that feeling that unless I start this practice and be independent, I would not be a person. Like I wanted to feel like a person, a human person, Sometimes what happens with women is they are married and they are depending on the spouse to do everything, not just to make decisions for you, but for money. And I think starting a business, and this is actually a takeaway for all the women out there who want to really start their business, just do it. I mean, unless you start, it's not going to happen.
Just initiate something.
Yeah,
The destiny will take you to
follow your passion.
Yes.
If you have a passion to do something, it's not just business, Do anything that you feel that you want to do. Don't let others stop you.
And
Because I think that's the biggest mistake we make. Because we say, well, yeah, you know what? I should really give this so much time. And then we feel guilty about it. Well, maybe I'm not doing enough at home. So then that was the first step, to hire somebody to look after my children, to get a, housekeeper. And I had somebody to clean the place, just look after stuff so I could, manage
work, yeah.
in an efficient manner. And I want to do these things joyfully, right? And you don't want to say, well, that kind of an
What's going
attitude
on?
is not very nice.
Yes, yeah. Be
So-
positive and just go with the flow. And
Yeah.
one more thing, you mentioned that you started your practice in Vancouver. Now you are the oldest in the area. And how you feel proud, like by
I
looking.
don't feel proud. I am very humble. I am very grateful, actually.
By-
So when I came to Surrey, yes, I should carry on saying that.
Yeah.
When I came to Surrey,
So by looking at that years back in 90s,
I just
Is
feel
it the same?
grateful. I feel the same. There are many notaries now. There's everything has changed.
Yes.
The whole world has changed. Technology has taken over. So things are not the same. So I'm still learning. I'm a student.
life is a learning process. though.
Exactly. My journey is never going to end, right? So we're all forever learning. And this is where I think people make a mistake in life, is they think, well, okay, I've done this and that's enough. I think we should all keep on learning and feel that we're always a student in life, because that's the only way you're going to learn more, is by saying that, yeah, I'm a student.
And you're going to do good. You're going to give your best out of it. When you
Yes.
learn something and you're
Yes.
like, okay, I did this good, now I'm going to do it better and I will give my best.
Absolutely. And especially with now the world being even, things that change with land title and all the work-related stuff is changing, and things are being added on. We have regular seminars with Society of Notaries Public offers, and very grateful to them also for their support, because they help the notaries to make sure that they're, keeping up with the genesis. But you have to keep up with what's going on. And we have these seminars, and now we have Zoom. right?
Yes.
And
See, again, technology.
yeah,
It takes
so we
over
have
everything.
yeah, exactly. So we have to keep learning as well. And if we don't learn, and if we don't improve, then we can't offer the services or we can't give our best to our clients.
So you have any weakness or you have any strengths?
I think my biggest weakness is not to give up. Sometimes that can be a weakness, right?
Yes.
It can be a strength because you have that zeal and you have that burning desire to do something. But then I also have this feeling that I don't take, I like challenges, but I don't give up on the challenge. So and I consider that a weakness because sometimes it can really get you, right?
Yes, that is true. So now you have grown up kids. How's their support to your business and to your work and to your everything?
Oh, they're good. They're very good. They respect me a lot. They feel that I inspired them to
nice.
to do what they are doing today.
Nice.
So that's a good feeling. I know I have inspired a lot of my clients' children. They call me and they say, well, we used to come to your office and you were the only lady notary that we used to look up to, and now look, we're doing this. One of them has become a broker, one of them is a realtor, and a couple of them are builders.
But
and
you
they were
think-
just young, and now
Yeah.
they call me and they say, well, you know what? You have inspired us. So
What do you think about the world is changing? Women's are coming out. They are coming
Yes.
on a front foot and then
yes,
doing
it's
everything.
wonderful.
How you feel?
I respect women because you see what happens is they not just balance. I mean, I'm sure they balance because otherwise you can't do all these things. But they also change their hats every time. They're a mom when they're in the house. They're a businesswoman or they're a working person in the office. And I think it's an amazing thing. It's a very good characteristic trait of a woman where she's got so much strength. And this is why I salute all the women out there for their enthusiasm, for their desire to be able to do this, because not only do you have this, it's not a pressure, but it's your
Strength
the
or-
strength that you
yeah.
need in order to carry on your daily duties at work. But then you come back home and you take care of that, and then you have children to take care of. And guess what? Something is needed in the house. Who do we look up to? A mother.
Yes.
So this is why I think all the mothers should also be respected for this, and the women should have a very big, because they have such a big role. They should be really way high up on the pedestal because they make this world go, right?
Yeah, because the women is the one who wake up early in the morning and sleeps at the end when everybody slept, and then they were like, okay, everything is okay, and now it's my turn to sleep and go to bed. So hats off to all the women. I
Absolutely.
must say.
Absolutely.
And now if we'll talk about notary. So yes, women's are in notary right now. As you said, in 90s, there are very less women who
Very
are in
few,
it.
very few,
Very
yes.
few. And
Yes.
nowadays, people still, they think, okay, I should go for this business, I should go for this notary public job or anything. So what will be your message to them?
Well, as I said, do what your heart says. Just follow your heart and follow your passion. So if you want to be a notary, and if you take a course, Sports Show has courses. I think Langara Langara College has courses, and do the legal course. And
What is the future
And
aspect?
don't stop at notary. Be a lawyer. I mean, do whatever you feel that you want to be. Right?
So the future is bright. we must say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's no question.
Possibilities are endless.
Yes.
It's what you want to do. But whatever you do it with your heart. And don't try to compete. Be yourself. I think this is the message that I give to myself too. Because we have this in our heart, right? All of us have it. We want to do our best, but we also want to do better than somebody else or compete. I think competition is good, but don't do it in in that direction. Do it what you feel is going to fulfill your heart's desire.
I must say, compete
Henna?
yourself. Compete with yourself. Don't compete with
I think this
another person.
compete business is out. Just do what makes you happy. If you can't do something properly, it doesn't matter. At least you've tried.
Yes.
And, so don't be like somebody. Be yourself.
Very nice.
Henna?
Very nice. Thank you so much, Shahnaz ji, coming to the studio and
Thank
sharing all the
you.
experience, sharing your journey and sharing some experiences about the notary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll talk about Notary today, and Shahnaz ji, she explained really very well that nothing is impossible because impossible is I am possible. So ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਵਾਂਗੇ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਟੀਵੀ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।